Hello, motherfuckers. Smirk Music here, and I'm gonna be doing a video talking about why you should not buy supply drops. I don't care if it's Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, even whatever next Call of Duty is gonna come out, because you know they're gonna have supply drops. I'm gonna tell you why I don't think you should buy them. Now again, I'm still sick, my voice is recovering, so I apologize for sounding weird. But I really wanted to get this video done, because the longer I wait to make this video, the more people are going to be spending money on these stupid fucking supply drops. And if you're curious, I'm going to be playing a private match game mode that allows me to get access to the new weapons. I'm planning to make a more in-depth video on how you can do this, but basically you just go through the community and you can find game modes that have new weapons. And you can have fun with them and play with them in private match, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just going to be killing some bots with the new weapons, and I'm going to be telling you guys why you shouldn't buy supply drops. Now first and foremost, I'm not telling you how to live your life, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do with your money. Just be aware that even though you have this freedom to spend your money on certain things, it doesn't mean that you should. Perfect example being supply drops. So let's look at the number one reason why you shouldn't. The first reason why I think you shouldn't do this is because Call of Duty is a yearly game, meaning that even if you spend money on Call of Duty this year, it's already going to be outdated by next year, and there's going to be a new game, and you're going to have to buy stuff in that game too. So when you're buying supply drops and COD points and all these different things, what you're really doing is you're just buying it for a year. So unless of course you have plans to keep playing that game for a long ass time, it's really not worth the money. This next reason is a little specific to Black Ops 3, but I don't think you should buy supply drops for the weapons because the drop rates are so fucking bad. If you guys didn't already know, it is confirmed that it's something like a 0.8% chance of getting an actual weapon from a supply drop. That includes the melee weapons, not even just like the new sniper, the SMG, and all that other stuff. This is including melee weapons as well. If you're planning to buy supply drops for anything other than a weapon, then yeah, it might not be so bad. But most people are trying to get the new weapons, which is why so many people feel that these weapons should be free, or that you should just be able to buy them, or should be given to season pass owners. Now while we're talking about this stuff, let's talk about these different weapons in the game. When it comes to supply drop weapons, it started out with just melee weapons. Then they started doing melee weapons, and then guns, and then more melee weapons and more guns. As we all know by now, oh god, that's a nice headshot. But yeah, as we know, all of the different melee weapons don't actually do anything different than the combat knife. They just look different. But the guns are kind of a different story. It's not like Advanced Warfare, where the guns actually have statistical differences than the base. They're just actually different guns. As a whole though, I don't think any of these weapons are better than some of the stock guns in the game, which is nice because it doesn't turn this thing into a pay to win or a pay for a chance to win model. But there's still a problem here. The problem is that people are going to spend a shit ton of money trying to get these guns, even if they're not good. And on top of that, pretty much no one's going to be able to use them in multiplayer because no one's actually able to get them. And I don't have proof ready of this yet, but the biggest problem is that these new guns have broken the multiplayer. And it's because these guns are so rare. Since the guns are so difficult to get out of supply drops and people barely ever get to see them, whenever they see someone using them in a public match, they stop what they're doing. They stop playing objectives, they stop playing the way they normally would so they can have a chance to pick it up and use it. I've played in matches where people camp in corners trying to get a fucking baseball bat from me. And then when they get the baseball bat, they start camping in a corner and just trying to get as many kills with it. Because they want to use it as long as they can, because they know they're probably not going to have another chance to actually play with it. And the fucked up part is that I don't think Activision even cares that it's ruining the core gameplay of what Black Ops 3 was. I remember seeing this really angry comment in my comment section about someone saying, they're just like, "Fuck you, Merc. You don't have to buy the supply drops, you can still use crypto keys." But again, that kind of goes back to the whole drop rate thing. Yeah, it is nice that you can just play the game and get crypto keys and get all this stuff for free. You can do the same fucking thing in Advanced Warfare. But both of these different supply drop systems prey on the same thing by using the terrible drop rates as their excuse. Even though there's a free way to earn all of these things and not have to pay a dime and still try to get some of the guns, the drop rates are purposely made so bad that it makes sense to pay money and try to get them faster that way. Everyone knows this. There's absolutely no denying it. Now this next reason is more of a personal thing, but I think as a whole, it's not good for Call of Duty. Since Advanced Warfare supply drop system was so successful, there's no way that they're going to want to stop doing this. So just think about it like this. We can expect every single iteration of Call of Duty that's going to come out from now on to have supply drops because they've made so much money for Activision. They've made so much money off these things that there's no way they're going to stop doing this. Holy fuck, a bot got a 5-man grenade. And this is the thing that's scary too. Before Black Ops 3 was even out, they said that the supply drops were going to have cosmetic items only. Hopefully you guys won't forget this, but the supply drop system from day one was a system with no COD points. You couldn't spend any money and it was all crypto keys, which meant that you were only earning cosmetic items and there was some kind of feeling of worth for doing that. But you know, it didn't take them very long to add COD points, and then people were starting to use that to be able to buy crypto keys and open supply drops. But the thing here is that none of the items were really all that desirable, so people weren't buying that much. So this is when Activision started scheming and said, look, start putting some melee weapons in the supply drops and see how the sales increase. And by the time that Treyarch had put, you know, like the wrench and all those things in the supply drops, they were still down by about 5 times the amount that Advanced Warfare sold. If you're wondering where I got this information from, it's this Reddit post that's been going around. It's pretty viral. You shouldn't have a very hard time finding it. At the time when Black Ops 3 introduced these melee weapons, Advanced Warfare's supply drops had already sold 5 times the amount that Black Ops 3 did. And that's when they made the call to start putting the Marshall 16 and the MX Grand and the crossbow into supply drops. And then their numbers started soaring back up. And when they see progress like that, there's no end in sight. Which is why we ended up getting this new sniper rifle in the HG-40. And it's the reason why we're going to continue to get different weapons. So I think you guys know where I'm going with this. They have visually seen a trend that says when they don't put game-changing items into supply drops, no one cares. But when they do put game-changing items into supply drops, people spend a shit ton of money on it. And this is where the problem lies. It's going to get us closer and closer to a pay-to-win Call of Duty every time they decide to do things like this, because they know that if it changes the game and it's only in a supply drop, people are going to pay big bucks for it. That's the fucking problem. So this is what I advise. The only thing we can really do is wait and see. We need to wait and see if Black Ops 3 is going to get worse. We need to see if the next Call of Duty game is going to have a similar kind of model or if it's going to be even worse than this. And honestly, we should not waste any more money on this shit. Regardless of the drop rates, regardless of what other people are doing, regardless of whether or not you have an excess of money, if you have disposable income, don't fucking do it. I'm waiting for Activision or Vonderhaar or Treyarch. I'm waiting for someone to make a statement about what's been going on recently, because this is despicable. I'm hoping that we don't have this shit in more Call of Duties, because it's getting frustrating as fuck. And I'm hoping that at some point, Season Pass owners can get the weapons that they deserve, and that people who don't want to buy the Season Pass can have an option to buy these new guns with either crypto keys or money. Because paying a shit ton of money for a chance to get them because the drop rates are so miserable is fucking stupid. And honestly, I don't know anyone who seriously fucking plays this game who will defend the supply drop system. It's terrible. But yeah, I'm tired of killing these bots. I'm tired of trying to lose my voice by getting pissed off at fucking stupid ass supply drops. So yeah, I'm just gonna end this game. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you think about supply drops. And hopefully Call of Duty doesn't continue to fuck itself up. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like, and I'll see you guys later.